Hey everybody, it's Pete from Keep It Sharp. This is like the third or fourth time I've tried to shoot a video. I'm not a professional at this, and it's frustrating. So today's video is going to be on charging the Treyco plate with my new system. And I'm trying to help you guys with me. And part of this whole why I'm doing it is I did my first 300 to 500 blades, whatever it was. I didn't have a count. I'm using a counter now as well. And I'm trying to extend the life of the blade. I'm sorry, not the life of the blade, the life of the plate, so that we're not having to recharge or not resurface our plates so often. The Red Machine, Nebraska Blades, Edge Pro, those guys are getting 1,000 or more blades before they have to resurface a plate. We're getting 300 to 500. So the first thing I said, because I had to get one resurfaced so quick, was I got to find a better way, and there's got to be a better way. There's no reason why we have differences. So that's what led me this way. So we're going with now lard oil, and I'm using a little different grit, which I don't think you have to. Remember, we've got our thickness or the gauge we use to tell if how much is being taken off. So whenever you do something or change something, this is going to help you. You can, like with the different times. What I'm doing is I've gone up to the fast speed, and which reduces your time from 2 minutes to 1 minute. And actually with the grit I'm using, I've gone with a 180-220 mix, and I'm down to 45 seconds and getting terrific results. So that's what this is all about. And so let's move forward. I'm going to go over here to the plate. What we have to do is, since this is like the fourth time I've had to shoot this, we're going to have to clean the plate, but I can show you my new cleaning the plate procedures as well. So I thought, hey, maybe cool. What's happening is when I try to put this thing in the tripod, I keep deleting the video, or not deleting the video. I'm stopping the video, and I haven't figured out how to put two videos into YouTube yet. So I got to try putting this in the tripod now, so I don't have to shoot my fourth or fifth video. So at least we can get a little laugh in here. So stand by. I did it. Yay. So here we go. So we're back over here. So I had a completely clean disc. Look at this. This is a really well-charged disc. So take a look at that if you can. But like I said, I want you to see it from the start. So we're going to clean this, and this is your bonus material today. So what I do for cleaning now, and this is going to be a complete cleaning, but even this I think works really well. I went and I bought, let's turn that off so I don't know how good my mic is working. Bought this off of Amazon. It's like a grill brush. It's not huge. It's got the brass bristles, and I'm finding it works. So yeah, actually what I would have done is run this up, and then, so this is taking off, I feel, about 80%, maybe 90% of your grit. As you'll see here, I go back and forth. Sometimes I go sideways, because what I found, if you leave it going real fast, the lard oil starts to melt in here and gum up. So I kind of go both ways. And I get the inside here too. Just because I'm anal and I like to keep everything clean. And look at how that's slowed down. We're even going to be able to stop it here. 90% of it's off, but what I do, see I still got some in here, is if it's like that, I'll get her switched on again, give it just a little bit more. But as you'll see, you guys, once you start doing this stuff, it gets faster. It's been a couple days since I did blades. I wish I could do them every day. I can say, so there we go, see? Boom, use our brake. At this point, I think you got all the grit off. Got a little bit of residual lard oil. Now this is where people are using H42, and I haven't gotten it yet because I thought it was a little pricey. I'm gonna get some, so we're all on the same page. But what I have found is using denatured alcohol or some of my purple degreaser is working pretty good. But just like other guys have done, spray that on. I got these nice rags here. Well, I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of funky looking. That's where I think the H42 might work just a teeny bit better. But all we're dealing with here is some lard oil that's a little thick or whatever. Oh, and if you don't feel comfortable, then hey, guess what? Do it again here. I don't know if maybe taking a, I just got some in, but one of the Scotch brake pads and run it around here. If you want to go for super duper clean, you could do it. See here, this I'm having great results with. Look at, I went overboard. I never put this much on, but I'm wanting to make sure I'm being thorough here and such. But here we go. Let's get this. And this is the other reason why I often use the denatured alcohol, because, you know, it just evaporates away. This stuff here, it's not water-based. It is solvent-based. That's why I say I'm sure we can use it. But, and I didn't get all of it out in there. Not a big deal. But see, now, boom, clean disc, okay? We're going to give that a second. What I'm going to do is turn it on. I think that'll dry it a little quicker. I don't know why I got that funny noise. I don't know if you heard that. That's a first. Don't know what that's about. We're going to set these aside. Because now, here we go. There we go. Oop, it was already off. Use our brake. That's one of the upgrades they did with the 3000. Makes it nice. So look at this plate's pretty shiny and nice, okay? So now we're back to square one where I started the first video. So we're like, hey, we're ready to charge. So what I do is, let me make sure, yep, is I give the disc a nice little spin. We got our atomizer with the lard oil, and I'm using odorless mineral spirit mix, 1/3 to 2/3, 1/3 lard oil to 2/3 mineral spirits. This is where I want to use the H42, so this is perfectly fine. I will be going to H42, but this is working. This thing is supposed to be charged up to 40 to 80 pounds. I didn't check it, so we're praying here that we're going to get a good spray. What I do is spin it, like I said, 1, 2, 3, a 3 count. Let's stop it. Looks like we're pretty well, but I got a little bit on the edge. I don't think this thing's spraying as good as it should. So since I see that, I'm going to give it right in those dry spots. Little extra, okay? Now back to our powder. So like I said, lard oil there. Lard oil and H42 or odorless mineral spirits. Call Edge Pro and ask them what their H42 to lard oil ratio is to be sure. I just had a brain fart and couldn't remember, but I think it was something similar to what I got. So then, okay, our grit. Now you can use your Treyco grit, no problem. I have switched grits though. I'm doing a 180. That's why I went down to 45 seconds. I think it's the 180. 180, 220. In case you don't know, the Treyco grit is 220, 240 mix, okay? So I up the aggressiveness just a little, having great results. So that's why, and I'm fine with it. So here we go. I hope I didn't just, that stuff doesn't, that's right, it doesn't evaporate. So that was my fear when I just did my so here we go. Remember, not being shy with the grit is not a bad thing, because the whole thing here is use your grit so you don't have to resurface your plate, okay? So it's much cheaper for grit. The other thing, just so guys will know, and I'm not trying to screw over Treyco or Edge Pro or anyone, but I went and bought 180 grit on Amazon. Might have been, it was 5 pounds for like $25, and then I got 8 pounds of the 220. I couldn't find 5 and 5, and that was like $30. I don't know, but look, I got a ton of grit now. So We got our grit on the plate now. I still do a little bit of the Treyco way of I spread it this way. I'm gonna make myself another wood block, but this is the one Treyco gives you. So it's kind of good. So after I do that spread, now what I do is I am doing like some of the other ones. And I know Treyco says, they don't say not to do this, but they say it's not necessary. I like doing it, I think it is. Because what we're doing, when they're doing the rubbing, they're rubbing the grit into the little pores in the flat plate. And then just literally spreading it into the lard oil on the plate. What we're trying to do here is we got the little grooves in our plate. We want to fill those grooves with grit and lard oil. And I know Treyco probably will say not lard oil, but I'm finding it lasts a lot longer. It's doing, the whole point here, once again, is extend the life of our plate. I think 300 to 500 blades is way too little before resurfacing. But I did find that was the case. I've already had to have one plate resurfaced, and it kind of upset me because I'm like, why are those other guys getting 1,000 and we're getting so few? So that's what the this experiment is. What I'm hoping we find out, we got to give this several more months, is that when I get to 300 to 500, and I also got off of Amazon a counter, and I'm trying to remember to count it each time. That's the problem with the Treyco. If you haven't been using a counter, you got to somehow get in the habit of doing it, and I'm still struggling. But so we pushed it in, and then what I do is turn it on, because we got to get rid of this extra that's in there too, and the fast spin. I don't know if I said it before. I'm on the fast speed, so you got to move your belt underneath. But what I do is I flip that on. You don't have to let it get to full speed, but I did here. But I just touch that on there a couple times. We're off, sorry. Look, I want to show you. Look at that. Now it looks like we don't necessarily have a good charge yet. You could, I don't want to do anything wrong. What I would do here, once again, is give it another little rub. And then I would literally do my first set of blades, and we're gonna simulate that here. I'm gonna do a little less time, but see, look at the sparks. We got good sparks, and this is as far as I'm concerned, we're not fully charged yet. Now I would let this go 45 seconds. Like I said, this time we're gonna go a little less. I want enough that it does its thing. Boom, off, and we're gonna stop it. And look at that. It already looks like a pretty well charged disc with without having to do more, but I want to go through. Most times I still feel it needs a little powder, so what I'll do is I'll give it another little powder. We want to make sure we're charged well, because we're getting more blades. I'm saying 4 to 6. You may see more, you may stay on the lower side, I don't know, but the lard really makes it hold, and that's why we're getting extra blades. So I did put another little bit, and I'm only doing this because typically I have to do this, but if it came out super good like that, you may be able to skip it. But once again, we don't want to hurt our plate. It's $200 to get a plate resurfaced from Treyco. So I think that's pretty pricey. Only because I kind of think I know how they do it. And there's not a whole lot of labor involved. So there we go. Boom, do your same thing. Start it. I got a lot in the middle. I might kind of get that out of there. But then same thing. Let's take a look. Look at that. Now the next set of blades, go right to your next set of blades. And now at this point, you're probably going to get your 4 to 6 blades. But let's do it for quick, because now you'll see, I think you're going to see it's fantastic. And I'm not going the full 45 seconds either. So, you see, look at those sparks. There's no way we don't have enough grit on here. Okay, so trying to give it a few. But remember, I have a timer. same thing, Amazon, you get 2 of these for like 10 bucks. So you'll have a backup and it counts down. You set it. See, mine says 46 seconds or 45 seconds. So when you push the button, it starts counting down. I'm worried about the noise here. And you guys hearing it. So you start it like I did, boom, and you can stop it, which you don't want to. It'll get to 0, give you the beep. So you can turn around, start putting a blade together, take one apart, do something, which you'll hear the thing. So here we go. Take a look at that disc. Ooh! It actually looks like there's a little too much grit on it. But it's like I said, that's why you're getting 4 to 6 blades. Maybe more, maybe less, but I think it's going to be at least 6. So when those blades, when the sparks, so you saw how many sparks we had there. So now watch your sparks. When they seem to be about at 50%, that's when I consider recharging. I either give it a little more powder, rub it in, so that's one of my tricks, to get a little more before you have to recharge. Give it a try. Like I say, try it. If you think your sparks come back up and you're good for another, but I do that and I get another 2 or 3 sets before I got to recharge. And the recharging is real easy here. I use that brush just like when we did the cleaning, but I just use the brush, get to where it looks like I got 99% of the grit off. And right from there, you don't have to do the cleaning. Spray it with your lard oil, powder it, do your rub-in, and that's where typically when you're on that second little charge, you don't need I remember I powdered it, I ran it, I needed another little powder. You're probably going to find out when you do the spray and the first powder, run your next set of blades, you got to stop your thing, but look at it. If it looks nice and gray or similar to this or maybe just slightly less, then you know you don't have to do more powder. If it does look like you got some blotchy places or something, sure, give it another powder. Maybe if you think it's dry, then give it another little spray and powder, rub it in, and then you got your 4 to 6 blades. So I'm not finding this to be a lot of extra time and a lot of extra problem. It may look it here, but when you get used to it and do it, it's not a whole lot. And this is working fabulous for me. So like I said, you've done your 4 to 6 blades. I don't want to uncharge this again, okay, because I just feel like I'm wasting powder here, but use your brush. Like I said, woo, 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 woo. Stop it, check it. If it looks like you got 90% of the grit off, yay. Respray, regrit, rub in, do a blade, check it. It's probably okay. Keep on rolling. So I hope this helps. I really think this is going to extend the life of the plate, or the what are we calling this, disc, plate, whatever you want to call it, so that hopefully, and like I say, I will be putting a video out saying what I'm getting. Like I said, you get 2 of these for a cheap price, and then you click it for each. Look at that. So I just did almost a full set, so giving it another click. I'm up to 166 right now on this plate, and it's looking really good. So I'm like, ooh, and the whole point here is I want to get more than 500 blades on this, and I will let you guys know when that happens. I'm pretty confident. So, and I'm trying to help. Like I said, I'm talking to Treyco. I know there's been some other questions out there for a few other little issues. We're going to get to those. I want to make sure I'm dead nuts right before I put a video on it. Just like this one. I've been doing this for several weeks now. Absolutely loving it. Don't see any problem. Like I said, I want to get some H42, so we're not doing so much different than the other guys. And I'll let you know if I feel that cleans. I think it's going to clean a little better than using the purple stuff. It'll probably be comparable to the denatured alcohol. I'm low on that right now, or I would have sprayed that. And the reason I kind of like that a little more than the purple stuff is it evaporates quick. It's a little quicker with the cleaning. So there we are. I think this is everything, guys. And please question. People are starting to question now. That's great. Ask me questions. Let's make this our little forum or whatever But the Treyco users need more videos out there. We need to get the news out on this. This isn't a bad unit at all. And I think because the reason with the arms, which I feel is better, is it's a consistency thing. And think about it, it's not only consistency, you actually can do something while this is running. So you got a timer, so you don't have to worry. I know there's been horror stories out there where guys have forgotten, left it on for 10 minutes. It ruined the blade. It probably is ruining the plate. So timer's important. But boom, when you do that, think about it. Now I can disassemble a blade, maybe put a blade together. I can get my grit ready, whatever. There's so many things you can do, which is another, I think, a big benefit. And the consistency. I'm getting way better at going by hand now, by the way. So there's some blades that we have to do by hand. I'm trying to fix that. But I've gotten a little better, so I understand more now why people think that's pretty good. And my point is, I still think there's only maybe 2 out of 10 that are super consistent and all that, so that you're not, see, if you're doing the same blades over and over again, your inconsistency might stay the same and you don't notice it. What I'm seeing is I'm going behind someone who's doing it by hand, and I don't think doing the best job. I don't like putting other sharpeners down, but I feel that she's doing something, because sometimes I got to sharpen blades 2 and 3 times to get them kind of reset. I got to make them cut. Certainly, I got to do that to make them cut. But then when I do them the next time, which has finally happened, it's not a big deal. So something's off in her hold, which is causing some freaky stuff. So so far this is working fantastic. If you want to give it a try, give it a try. I want to keep you up to date what I'm doing. Be safe out there, and we'll talk again soon. I'm going to pause you here. Okay. Took you off the tripod. Like I said, comments. The other comment I'd like to get from some of my fellow sharpeners is, do you think I'm saying too much? Should I shorten the videos and say less, or do I need to stay where I'm at? I don't think I need to go longer. So let me know that. Yeah, we're at 22 minutes. Oh, that's not terrible. And especially for training and information in our industry here. I think we need this. So have a great day. We'll talk to you next time.